describe Auston's type of leadership?
You know, I always think, especially with, you know, people in the public eye, you have a public view of them, you know, what you don't see is the competitiveness. You know, there's a real, I mean, this guy's got a burning desire to be the best. You know, he leads by example. He recognizes his surroundings. He knows what's going on. You know, he knows when somebody's maybe not having a great day. You know, he's got a real ability to connect and reach people. And like I said up there, he's a guy that people are drawn to. He walks into a room and, you know, he's a natural leader and people follow him. So I think he can do it many ways, but, you know, first and foremost, it's what he does and how he does it.
Were you nervous at all approaching John about this decision?
No, I wasn't nervous. I mean, you know, I've got a good relationship with the players, and like I said, sometimes you have to have hard conversations. This wasn't a hard conversation in the sense that, you know, John's a really smart guy, and you start just having conversations about the team and the evolution. At the end of the day, everybody's got the same goal, right? Goal here is to win, and you, as I said, you're always finding different ways that we can push that process along. John, like I said, right from the start when we talked about it, he's seen the evolution of Auston. You know, we walked through it, but so it was a smooth process. But you know, I wasn't nervous. You got a relationship, and you have those conversations of what's the next step here for our team.
The emotions must be an emotional moment because I mean these are defining statistics lines of the line.
Sure, yeah, and John, as you said there, he took the role very seriously. You know, he loved being the captain of the Maple Leafs. He understood the responsibility and the weight that comes with that. But he's also, you know, like I said, he's also aware of what Auston is becoming and what he's become, and where he sits within the team. So we had lots of great conversations of it. It couldn't be handled any better from John's perspective. Like all these things you always say, hey, it was handled great. It was really handled great by John. He recognized where I was coming from. Sorry?
How long from the time that you first approached John about this was it until he actually made the decision and agreed?
Yeah, we walked through it. Like I said, as I said to him, this is a path we wanted to go down, and he recognized. So I don't think didn't have to convince or anything. He understood my thoughts on it. He gave some thought. We had a couple discussions, but from the moment it was raised, he understood. And I don't think it was as he said to me, he knew at some point this day was coming, right?
Brian, did you give any thought to waiting?
Sorry?
Did you give any thought to waiting until John's contract expired a year from now?
You know what, Terry? No, I think you act when you think the time's right? It was that really didn't play a role in it. Like I said, it grew so organically, but no, I just felt time was right to have that discussion, and I didn't really put much thought into that.
How much of a say did Craig in this? I mean, when you switch the coach, you kind of look for a new voice there. Was this like an extension kind of that?
I raised with Craig my thoughts on it, and he supported, but he didn't know the play. Like, he doesn't know the people.
Right.
He's been getting to know them, but it made sense to him. Like, where Auston sits, you know, not only in the league and in the game, but with our team, he understood and supported it fully.
What's the status of Joni Hakanpää right now?
Working through that. Well, today we're dealing with this, but we'll get to that hopefully sooner rather than later.
Brian, John mentioned that Auston was a big reason that even he bought into what the Toronto Maple Leafs were trying to do as an organization. How much do you see Auston as a representative of the organization more than just a leader in the locker room?
It's a great point. Like I think he is. You know, I always look at it. Do you want those? Who do you want representing you, right? And Auston's, like I said, he's wise beyond his years, very considerate. The work he puts into his craft, how he treats other people. I've been nothing but impressed from the day I met him. Like I said, watched him from the outside. One of the biggest things that struck me, and I've said this before, is when I got here, is watching the work he puts into his craft and others do, like before, after. His talent, as we all see it, but it's not by accident. This guy's an elite worker.
Craig, what's it been like off-season, just kind of getting used to everything?
Oh, it's been great. I think, getting to know all the players and, their personalities and talking to them and just preparing for, the training camp and the coaching staff and, getting to know everybody in the organization. So it's been a real good summer, a busy summer, but overall it's been great.
What you learned about Auston, what do you think is okay?
What's that again?
Sorry, well, what you learned about Auston, what do you think is going to make him to be a great captain?
Influence, obviously the great player he is, but it's his work ethic off the ice and how he prepares day in and day out. He's at an elite level, in my opinion, in that department. I've witnessed it firsthand, constantly working, trying to get better. He's a team-first guy. He's the type of guy that's going to take care of his teammates like John Tavares did, and that's what makes a good captain.
Auston and John spoke about getting to the top of the mountain. How does a decision like today help the on-ice product do that? What role does a captain play in that?
It's a process to get to the top of the mountain. I'm not going to comment on getting to the top of the mountain. It's a process from training camp on, and Austin's going to learn on the way too. And he has learned a lot from John Tavares, obviously, and other leaders in this organization that they've had. And he just needs to be himself and go and play the game, play at a high level like he does. And obviously, there's other things being the captain now that you got to take care of and things like that. But those are all things that we'll talk about.
Brad Treliving said that Auston really knows how to read a room, read how people play. How important is that?
Oh, it's definitely important. Again, it's taking care of your teammates. When you're the captain of a team, any team, any business, you got to take care of your workers, your employees, your teammates, and he does a great job of that. Because he thinks outside the box. He thinks about the team, not himself so much. Obviously, we need him to play at an elite level as an individual, but at the same time, he needs to take care of his teammates, and he does that.
How involved were you in this?
Well, Brad and Brendan, we talked about it all, and conversations with those guys about it, and so I was involved.
What are you looking for in your alternates?
Well, alternates too. It's like a captain. That's their job too, is to take care of their teammates and to help Auston, obviously. And if he needs information, he needs help, and they're there for that. Just like they are for the whole team.
What have you done this summer to maybe get to know the guys? Do you feel like you're at a good spot?
I do feel like I'm at a good spot. Whether I went and seen people or on the phone calls, Zoom calls, things like that, just conversations with players. And it's not just once. I've reached out a number of times to a lot of the guys, and most guys, everybody, I think, pretty much. And, I've seen a lot of guys here in Toronto, and or I went and visited some guys too. So great group of guys, very committed. I think they've had really good summers, everybody, in my opinion, with their training and preparing for the season.
What's Mark's argument?
Well, he's an offensive guy, right? I mean, he scored a lot of points in the league. Great power play guy when he played. And I had him in St. Louis running the power play and did a great job there. And he went on, became a head coach in junior hockey, and then worked with Calgary last year. And just the familiarity I have with him, I think, and his personality, I think, works really well with those type of players.
The responsibility that you feel. What is the feeling like today? Is there a heaviness to this moment?
I think it's just a special moment. I think it's an incredible honor and an incredible responsibility. I mean, me and Auston, two of 26 guys that have gotten to do it, and it's for a franchise like this with its history and tradition and incredible fan base, incredible club. It's an awesome day. So I'm just incredibly happy for him, our team, and us moving forward.
Noticed your kids had the jerseys on when you came out. What does that mean to show all that?
Yeah, I just they love their jerseys, so I think that was my one request today was them get a couple jerseys, have Auston sign it, and add to their collection. So, like I said, it's meant the world to myself and my family, and everything I've shared with them has been phenomenal to share this moment as well. And the way my boys have gotten to know Auston and like all the other guys on the team, it's been amazing. So, great to just show my support and my family as well.
John, how was this first approach to you? Because it could be jarring to maybe some other people in that situation. But when it was presented to you, how was that?
It was good. Obviously last year was Tree's first year, and assessing everything with our team and where we were at, obviously how the season went, the different dynamics within our team, myself, Auston, our leadership, all these sorts of things that you talk about, and the goal is to win the Stanley Cup and to continue to get better and keep moving forward, like you said. So we developed a great relationship since he came on board and throughout the season. And the way Tree, Brendan, the club has communicated to me has been tremendous, and working together. And as I took time to then think about things and look at our team, look at Auston, myself, everything as a whole, and try to be very just try to be very aware, very process of where things were at, and like I said in my statement about the evolution of our young core that isn't young anymore, but in the prime of their careers and what they've become and what Auston's become as a player, as a person, as a leader. It just made a lot more sense and felt more and more right to me as time went on and as I thought about it and through my conversations with Tree.
How far down the road are you with extension talks? Is that come up at all when you're talking to Tree?
No, that wasn't a part of it. I think mostly it was just the way Tree and Brendan as well communicating to me my role with the team, the impact that I made and that continued impact and the importance of that. So, which meant a lot as a player and certainly at the time being the captain. So it like I said, meant a lot and just focused on this situation specifically. I want to stay. That's my desire to stay. But I think it's best that those things are kind of kept behind closed doors, and when the time comes, it'll be addressed.
How do you see your role changing, sort of on the ice and in the locker room now?
I don't really see much changing on the ice other than just continued evolution throughout your career, and obviously with Craig coming on board as the coach, things that he may want to change with the team or anyone individually, and that's myself included. But certainly, Auston is, being the captain is going to be more front and center. For me, it's just kind of continue what I do. It just may not be, like I said, as in front and center. It's going to be a great opportunity for him to evolve and to grow. Like I said, spread his wings and take charge. Whether it's day to day, whether it's certain moments, or just continuing just naturally evolve and grow like he has. I don't think he's come in one day saying like I'm doing this differently. I think he's just continued to mature, gain experience, show why he's such a special player and such an important player for us.
John, was the timeline of this transition between you and Auston that you said you saw coming from early on expedited at all by the lack of playoff success in recent years? I think most of the hockey world's going to look at this, as much as the framing has been out here, saw this coming, you have a good relationship with Auston.
Yeah.
It's been pushed ahead a bit by the failures in the playoffs.
I mean, that's not for me to speculate on. I think for me, I just take it, it's cliche and boring, but one day at a time, and we're trying to do everything we can to win the Stanley Cup. And like I said, that's why I came to Toronto, was the opportunity here with this young core players and obviously this club. And the opportunity that was here when I signed. So obviously getting the captaincy was an incredible honor. I cherished it and gave it everything I had every single day. And, it made a lot of sense. And going through it with Tree and our conversations and how I felt at this point in time, I know it's a great thing for our team, for Auston, and I think it's the right thing. So it's however everyone wants to look at it, that's out of my control. We're just continuing to push forward and excited about another year, an opportunity with the team that we have and type of players that we have, our staff and everyone that's involved. So really looking forward to this year, and like I said, working towards bringing the Stanley Cup back here.
Has someone asked about the kids wearing the
Matthews jerseys yet? Like,
Yeah,
significance
yeah,
behind there?
yeah.
Sorry, Phil. I didn't.
No, it's just, I like I said, the captaincy meant the world to myself, but also to my family. And today is an honor to pass it on to Auston. And, my family feels the same way and wanted to show their own support. And my boys love their collection of jerseys, so they got to collect another one. So they were really excited about that.
How you approach leadership, being a leader? How do you approach it?
I mean, I think I just approach it to be myself every day, and I think I know who I am as a person and my role on the team, and so I don't think, like I said up there, I don't think I need to change who I am or the way I go about things. It's just continue to evolve and grow, and continue to be the best player, teammate, and leader that I can be.
You've been part of the leadership group for at least for a couple of seasons now with this added responsibility. What's the message you want to send your locker room?
I mean, it's obviously we have one goal in mind, and that's to win. But I think just being present, taking it one day at a time. You can only control so much. So, for myself, like I'm not gonna be yelling at people or anything. It's just continuing to evolve as a leader and lead by example and continue to put my best forward every day. And obviously, we have a lot of great leaders on this team, a lot of great players, and it's important for all of us to lean on each other.
You mentioned getting chills when you got that phone call when you guys talked about it. Can you talk about what was said in that moment and expand on the emotions that went through you when it hit you? What was happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, he, we'd been texting. I was in Toronto a couple weeks before, and so I saw him when I was here. We kind of kept in touch and stuff, and then he wanted to chat. We could find some time. So he called me and just expressed how he felt about myself, about his role and everything, and how he wanted to pass the captaincy off to me. So I mean, like I said, there's really no words to explain what it felt like. It was just it was very, very humbling, and meant a lot coming from him, and the amount of respect that I have for John and our friendship and relationship. So for him to call me and let me know that he wanted to pass it along to me, it meant the world, and I was very, very honored.
There's a million Canadian kids who dream to be where you are today, but in the 7 or 8 years since you've come to the country, do you appreciate the history, and now that you're here and you look around all these screens and former captains and that?
For sure. I mean, like I said, it was. You realize very quickly how special of a place it is, and the history and everything that comes with being a Toronto Maple Leaf. So it's a special honor, and it's definitely something that I don't take for granted every day, being able to represent the city and this team and organization and wear that jersey. It means a lot. So I'm really looking forward to honestly getting the season going and just going from there.
Can you speak to the fan base directly, a large portion of which will be frustrated with the playoffs results of the last few years? It may look on today as being an intangible change, something that won't really affect the ice. So what would you say to the fan base right now?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's can have their own opinion. I mean, for us, internally, we believe in one another, and we know that, we know the goal that we're trying to accomplish and the mountain that we're trying to get on top of. So, for us, it's having that internal belief is what means the most, and we have such an incredible fan base that supports us no matter what. So, yeah.
You mentioned fighting the urge, like fighting the ability to change things, or like not wanting to change things. Are there any subtle differences that you think you might encounter this season?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's you have to go through it and experience it. I think any time you're disappointed by how the season ends and whatnot, it's important to, I think, collectively look internally as a team and individually and kind of find what maybe you can do better and how you can grow. Like I said, individually and collectively. So we have an amazing group of people, staff, players, leaders on this team, and everybody just supports one another.
Two more questions here for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen. So I mean, his kids are awesome, and we've they've been around a lot, and we've been able to kind of hang out and get to know them. So it was pretty cool to see them wearing the 34 with the C on it. And like I said, my relationship with John, it's we have a great relationship, and he's an amazing teammate and friend. So it was pretty cool to see the little kids there in the front row.
Bro as a leader since he started playing.
Yeah, it's as a lot of people have stated. He came in obviously game one as a very talented young individual, but just to see him as an 18-year-old to where he's evolved throughout the years, taking steps, growth, maturity on and off the ice. His game has matured, and it's the kind of thing you hope and expect when you're drafting a player of that talent, that they're just going to continue to improve. It's hard to find when a guy scores 4 goals in his first game, and then you see improvement coming on him from there. Like I said, on the ice and off the ice, it's been good to see, and I think he's ready and the time is right.
Tavares is handling his attitude towards this seems very good. Can you gauge just how difficult it would have been for him to have to stand out there and do what he did today? I mean, it couldn't have been easy.
I disagree. I think that John's a cerebral guy, and John saw it and understood it as well as we did, that the time was right. And John, I've known the Tavares family from his uncle and lacrosse days, and I know what they're made of and the kind of team players that they are, and they always are thinking about what's best for the team. So I wasn't surprised at all to see like John embracing the idea and concept, and as he said, he has one goal here, and anything that he thinks that can help pull the team further along, he wants to do. So I think that John is a unique individual and wanted to be a part of that, and wanted to certainly certainly help Auston along the way as well.
What's something on the outside we don't see about what Auston Matthews does every day?
Well, there's lots of things you could describe, but I think the intangible that was alluded to today is, he has the ability that people want to follow. And not that John didn't have that, but Auston, we're now drafting players that had posters of Auston Matthews up on their wall when they were little kids. So Auston has that ability that he is. It's not something that he has worked on. It's just something he was born with. People want to follow him and are drawn to him. I think giving him this time and this runway up until this point of his career, and not putting that kind of pressure on him as an 18-year-old, and allowing him to watch some of the leaders that have been here in front of him, has helped get to this point where he's evolved, where he's ready to do this.
Given your experience as a player and what you know about that locker room, what do you think John's role will change?
I can tell you, you look at this from the perspective as a team president, but I also made sure that I looked at it and tried to remember it as a player and being in a dressing room. And that was really important to me. And it was really important. I actually went over to John's house and sat with him in his backyard, and Aaron was there, and really talked to him about this, and to gauge his comfortability when this was first being talked about. So his role in the dressing room will not change. John will remain the same. I've played on lots of great teams that have had sort of multiple captains. One guy wears the C, but there are lots of captains, and they alluded to that here. This isn't about putting all the pressure on Auston. He's got leadership people around him. We've got guys that don't wear a letter on their sweater, that are leaders within our team. So that I think that this is such a selfless move for John. I knew that he was comfortable when I sat with him, and I just think that in a lot of ways, John's preparation and his approach to go out and win every game and do his job isn't going to change.
From your perspective, what makes Auston a good leader and ready for this?
Yeah, I think he brings a lot to the table, obviously, when it comes to leadership and character, and obviously he's an outstanding player. We all know that, but as a person and as a teammate, we've had the opportunity to kind of watch him grow and watch him mature over the last 8-9 years, whatever it's been, and so I think that he's extremely excited, and I think he's prepared for this role, this next chapter, and I think it's a great opportunity for our team to move forward, and so we're all very excited for him.
Mark, what do you think about what it says about John Tavares, the fact that he sat up there and did what he did today?
Yep.
It could not have been easy for him to come to that decision and then have to face this huge room of people and pass that seal.
I think it speaks volumes about who John is as a person and where his priorities lie. I think for him the only thing that really matters is our team and the results that we're able to get during the season, and what's best for our group. And I mean, I think you're right. I think that when this this came about, I'm sure that there were some challenges there for him, but I think he's handled everything like the class act that he is. And I had a chance to speak with him, and I think the first thing that I felt was just how well he's handling it, and his view on things. And so as this has kind of come about, I think he's been outstanding, and but that's no surprise to anyone. That's how he operates. So I think Austin's fortunate to have that relationship with John. And as a team, we're extremely fortunate to have the two of them working together the
Coach says
way they have.
On the outside, you don't see
I think there's lots of things. Whether it's how he prepares. I mean, you heard Brad talk about that, but I think his relationship with his teammates. I think is probably one thing that isn't exposed to you guys, and how much he cares for the people in the room, how much he cares for his friends and his teammates. And we're very lucky to have him in there, and he is that guy. When you look at the best players in the world, he's right there, and then he would be right there with the best teammates in the world as well. He cares about everybody. He treats everybody with respect, and I think that is a contagious part about his personality.
How do you think John thinks outside the box? What does that mean as a leader?
You have to ask him. I think that when I'm with Austin, he's extremely motivated. Winning and playing his best is truly the most important thing to him. And that's extremely motivating to be around. And whether he thinks that's outside the box or it's just extreme motivation, I think both are true. I think he's willing to adjust and adapt and change his off-season training, his kind of style and everything. So he's a guy who's extremely prepared to put in the time and make that commitment to the team that we're here to get championship, and he's going to obviously help us do that.
How will this change John's role in the locker room?
I don't think it's going to change much. I think it's obviously challenging to deal with this change in what you wear on your jersey, but I think he's going to come in. He's going to be a leader. He's an outstanding player. We have no question about who he is or how he can play. So I think the hope would be that we're just going to make it a smooth transition and just keep growing as a team. And I know that's the goal. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
Is there any area do you think working through?
I think there's always kind of that feeling when there's change like that, whether it's management or coaching staff or players coming in. There's always that new feeling at each training camp, like there's new opportunities on the horizon, and not a new identity, but you're always pushing to improve, and I think that's what we've done all off season, and so again here today is just a chance for our group to move forward and grow, and that's what we're always trying to do.
What was your reaction when you first heard that this was going to happen?
Excited. I think like everyone was. It's just an exciting day to be a Maple Leaf, exciting day to be a Maple Leaf fan. So these are two unbelievable people that we've had on the stage today, and very lucky to have them on our team.
As a teammate, what have you seen the most from Austin's evolution over the last several years?
Well, I think just like John said, just the commitment to his craft. I know everyone sees it on the ice, game time wise and practice wise, but it's such stuff he does off the ice. Stuff he does before practice, just a commitment to his game. And I think in a lot of ways, Johnny has helped us grow in that way. Johnny's, like Austin said, a top-notch pro, and he's been one since day one, since being here, and he showed us that regardless of who you are, the work never stops, and it only gets harder, really. And I think that's where you've seen Austin really grow as well.
Aside from John, you and Austin have had a lot of players that you've been able to soak up in mentorship roles. What do you think that he's going to bring to the role that he's learned off of somebody like Patrick Marleau or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's where we've definitely been very lucky in our time here. We've had some unbelievable people come through this organization, and now we have unbelievable people that we call friends and really family-wise. So there's a lot of great people that Austin can lean on. there's obviously a lot of great people in our locker room that Austin can lean on as well. So, like I said, it's just a very exciting day, and he's going to do amazing, and it's going to be a great next chapter for us.
There's been a lot of people talking about your future in Toronto, and not necessarily yourself, but a lot of people have been talking about it. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're still committed to being here long term?
Yeah, I'm not going to get in that too much today. I'm just going to say that I love being here. I've said that from day one. I'm very fortunate and lucky to be a Maple Leaf, and today is about these two amazing people beside me, and that's what I'm going to speak on.
You look at it as a new era, if you will, with Craig taking over back advantage now, the captain.
I think you can look at it that. We're just excited. It's a lot of the same group that we've had. We know we're a great team, and it's just about making sure every single summer you put the work in and you get ready to go, and you get geared up for the new one. And talking with Craig throughout the summer, he's been amazing. He's bringing a lot of great new mindset to the team. I've talked to a lot of people that have been under his coaching, and I've only heard great things. So we're very excited to have him and fortunate.
You mentioned talking to Craig. There's a picture that went around of you guys meeting at a coffee shop. Can you just talk about how your discussions have gone with Craig about it?
Yeah, it's been great. Craig's been, like I said, he's been awesome. He's been, obviously that one was pretty funny to get out. It was a little coffee shop in Etobicoke there, and where there's only a couple people in there, and it's been great talking through him all summer. Like I said, it's we're excited for this year. We're excited to get it going, and it snaps by and comes so quickly. So he's been awesome. He's been a joyful new mind, and we're excited to play under him.
This is a unique situation, certainly for John as well. How do you think he's going to kind of adjust and to what could be kind of a different role for him?
I think John's going to adjust just fine. He's an amazing person, like I've spoken on. And he was the one to give me the call beforehand and let me know what was going to go on and what was going to happen. And just hearing from his words, he thought this was the right time, and he doesn't take it in any other way. It's just an honor to give it to Auston, and he's always going to be looked upon as a great leader in our locker room. It doesn't matter without that C or not, and he's someone that we can depend on every single day in every game to be a person to lead on and off the ice.
What do you think of the additions of Tanev and Beckham Larson's story?
Yeah, very exciting. Obviously, very big pieces that can help our team in a large margin. So I'm very excited for it, and they seem very excited to be part of our team as well.
Auston's going to lean on you, Morgan, John, of course. How do you feel like you've grown as a leader since you've come into the league?
Well, I think, like I just spoke on, we've been very fortunate and lucky to have some amazing leaders around our team, and just seeing how they went in and out of their days, and how they get ready for games, get ready for practices, just how they get ready for really anything going on. We've been fortunate for it, and we're all ready for this opportunity and to see the great things that come with it. And I think the great thing is, like I was saying before, we have so many guys in this locker room you can really depend on and lean on, and Auston's going to do amazing in this role, and he's going to have a lot of help around him to always support him.
What was your first reaction to Sheldon getting let go?
I think, like every single season, everyone has to look at something and, can decide on changing or not. So, he was amazing when he was here, and we're very fortunate to have him. And, unfortunately, we just didn't get the job done with him. And, wish him all the best in the future.